Hey there, Warwick Johnston from SunWiz with you with some key slides from our 2021 year in review. Let's have a look. One of the interesting things we see across the nation is that there was quite a significant variance in volumes that were installed in 2021 by state. And you see some states had significant growth and actually some receded for the first time in many years. So if you look at that leading dot there on the right, that's orange, New South Wales, grew by 8%. And that contrasts with the smaller in capacity Victoria, which grew by 21%. Now, some of Victoria's growth was related to a pretty significant lockdown that happened the year before, but overall it grew much more substantively than the rest of the market. That said, there were some smaller states and territories such as the ACT and I think that's Tasmania that also had high growth rates. Those are balanced by some pretty significant traction in small market like Northern Territory and those mid-sized market like South Australia, which actually contracted a little bit, and South Australia, which also grew at a slower pace than the nation, noting that this is the STC sub 100 kilowatt market. We're having a look here at some installation month figures and noting that the most recent months haven't quite yet trued up, so they're an approximation. And what's interesting there is you can see in Victoria, that's the second line from the bottom, between 2020 and 21, you see that dip, there it is, when that hard lockdown occurred and much of metropolitan Melbourne was unable to proceed with installations. In contrast, there we have, let's get to it, up there, next line, second from the top, New South Wales has their lockdown, which was a bit more targeted in some regions in mid-2021, which resulted in some contraction over what might have otherwise be. And they didn't show the same bounce back that happened in Victoria after their lockdown. Now, Victoria's second lockdown, there probably an overstatement from what we've seen in more recent data. This is an installation source, which does lag significantly, so it's an approximation there. But very interesting to see that lockdowns are one of the reasons we had such a variance in the states, but they're not the only reason. We see that the pandemic has certainly had other impacts upon price and freight and availability as well. So it's not just lockdowns which are causing impact there, but some economic uncertainty too. There are some other factors that are at play here. We're seeing actually electricity prices that are reducing, and along with them, the wholesale prices reducing, so our feed-in tariffs too. And then we had this big scare of the sun tax, which probably won't turn out as bad as initially was plastered on the front pages of the news, but it does take some time for the public to catch up on that. Now, if you'd like to get some more information here, we have a range of different sources there for you. I'll post these links for you in the comments below. There's the year in review. There's our new Luminate service for large solar businesses. We actually even have a retailer option if you're an SME. You can keep up to date with all of the information you need at a low cost. And we also have a webinar that's going out in mid-February, and you can register using that link. Thanks so much, everybody.